Hi guys. So while everyone online has been losing their absolute minds with Borderlands 4 and all that situation, I have actually been really busy just playing one single game. And I really want to talk about it because I don't think people are really paying attention to what this game does. So this is just some of the footage I have captured from Chronos New Dawn. I already finished the game. I completed it just a few days ago, and I'm really impressed by what Bloover achieved in this title. So Chronos New Dawn is basically a thriller space adventure game made in Unreal Engine 5. And I really feel like after Silent Hill 2, like it's really obvious that at some point in development, this game was maybe the pitch that got them the Silent Hill 2 project at some point. And I believe that after they got greenlit to make Silent Hill 2, they went back and refined some of their techniques already when they were developing Silent Hill 2, and they put them all to work in this title. So let me try to explain to me what it was experiencing this game. So this game is quite interesting because it has this mix of so many games that I particularly like. I am not a Dead Space person. I never played Dead Space. It is something that I will eventually get to. But if I had to compare it to games that I have played before and that I like very much, this has essentially the same gameplay loop as the modern Resident Evil games. So this is very similar to the modern Resident Evil 2 remake, also to 4 remake. So in that sense, the gameplay loop is very similar to those games. The other thing is that the game has so many different locations where the game has a really good variety of locations where you keep playing the game and you are constantly impressed that they actually modeled and made all these huge levels. Like the levels are quite big and impressive, and the game just feels like it keeps going and it keeps having more and more content, which is quite impressive. Like by the time I was halfway through the game, I thought I was going to be close to the ending, man, but it just kept going. So that is really impressive to me. So the combat here, as I'm showing it to you, it's actually pretty well achieved. It's not as polished as something Capcom would made. There are still some small pieces here and there where you feel like the gameplay is not that perfectly tuned just yet, but it is already getting very close to what I would consider Capcom level. Like it's really really good and really enjoyable and really interesting in the mechanics it starts to propose. Another thing is that the Silent Hill 2 remake actually had some issues with the mouse controls. Like it had an inherent sort of acceleration component to it, which came from the from the dual analog sticks you have to use when using a controller, and it was not really well tuned for mouse and keyboard. I can tell you that this is absolutely no issues at all in this game. Mouse and keyboard controls are absolutely perfect as long as you dial it in your sensitivity settings. Now, another thing I really like about this game is that it is the world is like the stages themselves are actually designed to have a lot of secrets in them, and it actually encourages you to go out and try to explore different routes. And even now, I'm on my second playthrough, almost done. I'm not even sure I have discovered everything. Like it has a lot of secrets and a lot of things which are hidden in the maps, which you play these maps and it just has well-designed maps, man. Like it is really like an old school game. This is not like some open world thing with too many things to do and way too many things to see. It actually has a purposely designed map structure, which I appreciate very much, man. Now, one of the more impressive things to me was that I actually felt like they were using Unreal Engine 5 as you were supposed to use it. Like when they introduced Unreal Engine 5 to us, they told us that you would be able to have environments that scale. So you could have geometry that becomes like really small, and you could scale it into really to become really big, essentially getting rid of LOD, right? You would no longer have pop-in, and you would just produce one piece of geometry, and it will be able to scale regardless of the size. This is what they promised with Nanite, right? And I really feel like this game in particular makes absolutely wonderful use of all these things, because there are some really huge maps here where you see something very far away in the distance, and you will actually not just go there but explore it in even certain angles that you don't usually see in video games. Like it has this sort of uncanny way, or of course completely unrealistic way of playing with gravity after the middle of the game, where you can actually traverse things in like slanted patterns, and not just slanted but also in very strange angles when you are shifting your gravity, shifting your gravity with respect to the geometry as you start to navigate these new places, just like I'm showing you right here. And let me see if I can show it to you. So you start to traverse these huge environments using the gravity boots, and you actually shift, sort of shift around the different phases of the geometry. And all of this geometry is very detailed, and it still has like secrets in it, because you're supposed to, you can find different panels in places where, like if you look around carefully, you can find different panels where you can just do a gravity jump to it. And it's really awesome. Like the only game I have played so far which has something like this, which is doing something doing something with the environment which is absolutely not possible in real life, is Control. Like the last time I had this feeling. And in Control, there was a section of the game where you enter some rooms which constantly shift in their geometry and their look and plays with the gravity. But in Control, that room, I forget the room, but it's the one where you get the really cool music and stuff. It's probably the best room in Control. If you have played that game, you know absolutely what I'm talking about. I even have a video of that on my channel when I played it on a Radeon 7. So this actually reminds me very much of that, but it's now a core gameplay feature, and it's done seamlessly within the same world. And I really believe that this is thanks to Unreal Engine 5, because now that you have all these lumen system and all this geometry system, they can absolutely shift it and do weird things with it, where it's easy for them to present the world in this way, and you actually get to see the world in all these different angles. And it's really impressive, man. Like for me, I really like it when games do stuff you cannot do in real life, and this is something that absolutely blew my mind. Like for me, this was actually quite amazing. Now, another thing that I like very much as well is that there's really small detailed things in the world. Like if when you start to investigate certain things in the environment, you can actually find some very detailed things in the world. For example, you have here this diorama with a train running around it. Let me see if I can show it to you. Here it is. So you have this diorama. So for example, you have this diorama with a train running around it, and when you start to look at it very closely, it's actually very detailed, and it's actually this sort of small things in the game where it really makes you feel like they were really enjoying making this game. Like they didn't need to do this, but it is full of all of these type of small details throughout the world, and I think they do a pretty good job in the world building. Like it's not just this particular example. The game has so many things where it makes you like it really impresses you, and it's quite good in my opinion. So now let me address the last thing, which is the performance. So I was initially a bit concerned because sometimes Unreal Engine 5 titles can be a bit, strange in terms of the performance. I was actually pretty happy with the performance in this game. So the way I played it personally is I just set it to high settings. I didn't use hardware accelerated ray tracing because it actually takes away some of the performance, and I don't feel like there's a whole lot of benefit in doing that in this particular game. Like the lumen lighting is not that bad, and so I was playing at 4K performance DLSS. It's using the transformer model. I used frame generation just completely unlocked, and I had absolutely no stutters, no nothing. Like there was no stutter. It was perfectly smooth for me. And then with the NVIDIA reflex that you get from the frame generation, it was actually really smooth, really nice to play. I quite enjoyed it. So you're seeing now one of the most intense moments in the game, and even at high settings, you can tell the lumen lighting quality is just amazing, man. Like the lighting is just incredible, even in high settings in lumen. Like seriously, we have like with the Unreal Engine 5, even you don't need to set it to like ultra high or cinematic or whatever. Even at high settings, the graphical fidelity is already pretty high, man. So I mean, just look at it. You have like the volumetrics and the shadows and everything. It's just, even the reflections are pretty impressive. So I think they did a really good job here. Okay, so lastly, let me address sort of the horror aspect. So for me personally, this game was not scary at all. It didn't make me scared, but it made me excited for the combat. Like I was actually pretty pumped up for the fights and for the action. Like I actually really enjoyed the action in the game. If I had to, but this is why I'm describing it as a thriller more than a horror game. So it's sort of an action thriller sci-fi adventure, and it actually reminds me a little bit of Myst in a certain sense, where you're exploring a world where something happened, and just by looking at the world and interacting with it, you start to learn things about what happened there. And it encourages exploration, and it has weird things in it, especially the gravity stuff. So they really achieved that adventure, that sense of adventure, which I really appreciate, man. So I'm very happy with this game. I really recommend it. So if you're on the lookout for an exciting action adventure game which has purposeful level design and good combat, I really think you should consider this game. Like it's not just that the places, like the stages in the game, are purposely designed, but it has so much variety in the environments that it is actually quite impressive. And I really think this game is worth playing. Like you should really play this game. And I just wanted to take some time and make a video talking about this game, because I feel people need to stop being so negative all the time. Like everyone is like, I paid $4,000. Why is Borderlands 4 not running in whatever quality? You know, it's of course a problem with Gearbox. They didn't optimize their game well enough. But you try this and you play it, and it's amazing. Like this is an amazing game. It's really well done. It's very fun. It's doing something which AAA studios are just now starting to go back to. Like, you have Konami as well with Metal Gear Delta. Like, of course, there's a lot of people who just want to complain that it is Unreal Engine 5 or whatever, but Metal Gear Delta is actually also very well achieved, and it's a classic game. Like, it only goes to show you that classic design is still to this day relevant. And I feel like Chronos New Dawn is one of the examples where someone is taking the design of old games, like the way we used to have old games in the past, and they made it using technology from today, and it is very well achieved. And they are doing stuff that they are proposing and doing stuff that games don't usually do, especially with the gravity stuff. And now that they have all this geometry system with nanites, I feel like it really allowed them to do that confidently, where they can present such a hugely detailed world to the level where it starts to feel a little like Myst. Because, like, the thing with Myst, the original Myst and Riven, is that the world was insanely detailed, right? That was the whole thing. So, like, that detail made you feel like the world is bigger than you. And thanks to all this nanite and lumen stuff, I really feel like Bloober were able to achieve that feeling in an action adventure game, which to me was really, really good, man. Like, I'm really happy with this game. So yeah, Chronos New Dawn runs great. Just set it to high settings, use Transformer DLSS. You don't need frame generation, by the way. Even if you turn off frame generation, it's very smooth, plays fine. No stutters for me. Hopefully you will not have stutters either. But yeah, that's it. That's my recommendation. So, dude, seriously, just wait until they fix Borderlands 4 and try out a really well achieved Unreal Engine 5 game instead, right? Let's not hate Unreal Engine 5. Let's just give our praises and support the developers that are actually using the technology in proposals that are interesting, that are good, and that are basically free of free of trying to sell something which is not the thing you wanted, right? It's not trying to sell you anything that it isn't. It's just the game they wanted to make, and it was achieved the way they wanted to achieve it. So, very impressive. I'm really happy with the way Bloober is evolving as a studio. It's really impressive. So, yeah, this is a thumbs up for me, and it's a really easy game to recommend to my audience and to all my friends. Seriously, just play this game. It's great. So that's gonna be it. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.